In this video, I will take you through the Events page in Nintex Workflow Cloud. The Events page displays information about the start events received from your connections, such as SharePoint Online, Box, Salesforce, and Zendesk. It is especially useful for discovering why a workflow did not start, as it displays if the event was received and if all start conditions were met. Automation administrators and global administrators can access the Events page in Nintex Workflow Cloud by navigating to Automate from the top navigation bar and selecting Events from the left menu. By default, the page will display all events received from your connections in the last hour. The page consists of 6 columns. The first is the event name. The name of the event received is listed here. In this example, I am using the SharePoint Online connector, which has the event of SharePoint New List item. The next column is the Record ID column. This column displays a unique identifier from the third-party connector. For this event, we can see that the SharePoint item ID for the item that was created is displayed. The connector column advises which connector was used to receive the event, and the connection column shows the name of the connection that was used for the event. As the name suggests, the time event received column advises when the Nintex Workflow Cloud tenant received the event from the connector. The workflow column displays the name of the workflow that was triggered by the start event. If more than one workflow is triggered by the start event, the column will display the message multiple workflows. The number of workflows started is also shown in parentheses. Clicking on the event in the Event Name column opens an information panel to the right of the screen. The panel displays the event that started the workflow, the record ID, and the event ID, which can be used for troubleshooting if required. Clicking the View Payload link opens the Payload Data panel. The data can be helpful when diagnosing issues with your start events, as it contains such things as start variables. Expanding the Workflow section reveals the workflows that were started by the event. You will see the workflow name and the start event status. Please note that this is the start event status and not the workflow status. The status of instance started means that the workflow instance has been started. The Details section can provide additional information if the instance does not start. In this example, there is a condition that the title field in SharePoint must contain the word friend. In this instance, the word foe was entered, so the workflow did not start. The condition was not met, and the details provide an explanation. When a workflow is started, a link to the workflow is provided called View Instance. Clicking the link takes you to the Workflow Instance page for the workflow instance that was started by the event. The default of viewing events for the last hour can be changed by selecting the 12 or 24-hour preset in the Receive field. A custom range can also be set by clicking the Custom button and selecting a start and end date time from the calendars. Additional filtering of the event status can be achieved from the drop-down of the Status field. You can choose Error, No Error, or All. Please note that an event that does not start because it does not meet a condition is not considered to be an error, as this is expected behavior. Clicking the Filter button at the top right of the screen shows a break out of the Received and Status fields, as well as the ability to do further filtering by clicking the Add Filter button. Additional filters that can be added are Connector, Workflow, and Record ID, which correspond with the columns on the Events page. Configure your filter and click the Apply Filter button. If additional filters are selected, they will now also appear at the top of the screen for easy access. In this video, I provided an overview of the Events page in Nintex Workflow Cloud. Administrators now have an insight into start events. They can see if an event was received by their tenant and if a workflow instance was started, or details into why an instance was not started. For more information about the Events page, including in-depth details about the event messages, please see the Nintex Workflow Cloud help files.